The Great Sphinx is one of the most famous monuments in the world and largest surviving sculpture from ancient Egypt, being 4,500 years old. The sculpture represents a full-bodied sphinx laying elongated on its stomach. It's 240 feet long and 66 feet high. Its tail wraps around its lower body, and various features on the face and head are currently damaged. A sphinx is a mythological creature with variations between Egyptian, Asian, and Greek cultures. The Egyptian sphinx has a lion's body with a human head. It was viewed as a spiritual guardian. The lion was a royal symbol associated with the sun, and the sphinx is made of limestone, a material found in hills and cliffs near the Nile River Valley. The Great Sphinx is located in the Gizeh Plateau, west of Cairo and the Nile River. It faces the rising sun and sits next to the causeway of the Pyramid of Khafra. Khafra was the king of the 4th dynasty, and the Gizeh Plateau contained his temple complex. It is commonly accepted that the Great Sphinx was built for Khafra around the same time as the Great Pyramid and during the beginning of the Old Kingdom period. It is also assumed that the head of the Sphinx is Khafra's because it resembles his life-size statue that was found in the Valley Temple located next to the Sphinx and discovered by archaeologist Auguste Mariette. The Sphinx has its own temple in front, which is in similar design to the Valley Temple. It was dug up by archaeologist Emile Barais. There are no Old Kingdom texts that refer to the temple or even the Great Sphinx itself, which leaves challenges in finding more information. Researchers in the 1980s found evidence of excess limestone blocks from the Great Sphinx were used to create the Sphinx temple. Workers likely hauled the blocks to the temple as the Sphinx was simultaneously being carved. There is an estimation that it would have taken 100 people 3 years to carve the Great Sphinx out of a single mass of limestone. There is evidence that workers may have quit during the process of building the Sphinx in the temple, such as partially extracted material left behind and workman items. Ancient Egypt civilization was a religion-led society of polytheistic gods and with high attention to the afterlife. It was a subject of all art. Every monument was meant to align to heaven, and this can be seen in the pyramid slopes creating a point to the very top as if it were pointing to the sky. Scholars suggest that the Great Sphinx also has the celestial purpose, more specifically to resurrect Pharaoh Khafra with the power of the sun and the gods. This can be further inferred because of Khafra's association with Horus, who was the god of the sun and the sky and of healing. There are many mysteries and theories about the Great Sphinx. Besides the majority accepted theory that Khafra built the Great Sphinx, others suggest that the head actually resembles his father, Pharaoh Khufu, making him the builder. Another theory was created by scientists that based on the potential age of the causeway and erosion patterns, the Sphinx may be older than we think. The Sphinx being older than believed is also connected to a theory by author Robert Balvo. He believes the Sphinx and its neighboring pyramids form an astronomical map relating to the constellation Orion. However, this theory is not solid because the astronomical map only fits the position of stars from 10,500 BCE, and no artifacts have ever been found in that area during that time. During the 90s, it was discovered that there are multiple tunnels going underground near the Sphinx and regularly shaped chambers underground. Because of this, there are multiple legends of the Great Sphinx having secret passages. Another question historians have about the Great Sphinx is why its head is so small in comparison to the body. Theories suggest that either the head was recarved several times by multiple pharaohs, or that attempts to repair the head over thousands of years has altered the proportions. The Great Sphinx was ignored and buried into sand for centuries. The pink granite slab, now called the Dream Stele, between the Great Sphinx paws, tell the story of how the monument was discovered again. The story is that Prince Thutmose of the 18th dynasty fell asleep next to the Sphinx. In his dream, the Sphinx called itself Harmaket, which means Horus on the horizon. It made a deal with Thutmose that if he cleared the sand and restored the Sphinx, then it would help him become a pharaoh. Whether the dream was true or not, Thutmose did become a pharaoh, and he introduced the Sphinx worship to his people. He built walls around the Sphinx and protected it from the desert winds. The Sphinx once again became an icon and spread all over Egypt. The Sphinx was once again forgotten for centuries and suffered immense damage from erosion. Parts of the face and head that broke off were the royal cobra emblem, headdress, sacred beard, and nose. The accessories are now displayed in the British Museum. However, it's guessed that the nose was purposefully destroyed as a protest to idolatry by Sufi Muslim during the 15th century. It is also thought that the Sphinx's face was originally painted dark red, since traces of the original paint could be seen near one ear. It wasn't until the 1930s that archaeologist Selim Hassan finally removed all of the sand covering the Great Sphinx. The Great Sphinx continues to deteriorate due to natural weather causes, pollution, and past failed attempts of restoration. In 2007, authorities installed pumps to divert sewage water moisture from further damaging the limestone. Present-day preservation is the main focus for the Great Sphinx, and it's being protected by the Egyptian Antiquities Organization, founded in 1859. The Great Sphinx stands out to me because of how mysterious and grand it is. It's unique for its single-subject sculpture at such a large size, but I kind of feel bad for it since it got buried for such a long time, and now it's unfortunately being deteriorated quicker because of modern human effects. It's the most known version of the Sphinx, and it sets the standard of what it looks like to most people nowadays, and I hope I get to see it in person one day.